I'm a church pastor, and actually the programming that I have done is I work with local churches to provide to train individuals to recognize when somebody is going through crisis and how to connect with the people and then help them find connections that are around them. So it's I have worked some directly with people who are in crisis, but mostly I've worked with people who know others in crisis and want to help but don't know how to help. And the goal of the program I train people I train church members it's called companionship, and companionship is when people go through. Let's start at the beginning with the stigma. Mental health concerns have all kinds of stigma attached to them. And the church is unfortunately one of the places where the stigma can be deepest. There have been congregations and communities in the past that have taught that mental health concerns are primarily moral or faith-based issues, and that if somebody just had more faith, they could overcome these mental challenges. We start by training people that that's not the case, that mental health concerns are illness concerns just like a heart attack or a broken bone. You need to get help. You can't fix this by yourself. And I don't train people to fix it. I train people to treat others as fellow human beings on the journey. All of us are on a journey towards healing, and some of us just happen to be on a journey towards healing of mental health concerns. Others of us are on healing for other concerns.
What do you tell them to how to recognize those issues and say, hey, if somebody is doing this or that they may need a little bit of a hand on a shoulder and a hand out?
The process of companionship is based on, there's a model where first you see, there's two individuals, you and someone else, and it appears that person is in crisis of some kind. The way you approach that person has to be very nuanced and very, you don't just walk up to somebody and say, oh, I want to help you. You have to carefully just determine how, you have to judge your own state of mind too, your own, where you are physically and emotionally and mentally. And sometimes you may need to say, I don't have the capacity right now to deal with this. You need to be in a clear state of mind yourself before you determine that you will go and connect with someone else. Once you've determined that you want to connect, then there are a number of strategies for connecting. It appears that you're having some issues. Would you like to talk about it? Or is there anything I can do? Or is there someone I can notify, someone you would like to come help? The companionship program does not teach people to be heroes. Our job is not to be heroes, because if we're a hero, then that leaves the other person feeling like they're worthless, and that adds to the stigma. We want to approach somebody as an equal and as a fellow journeyer through life.
That equality, I can see that being part of the beneficial part of the program, mm-hmm. because that's going to keep people in a good communication point where their help could continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So much, well, the other piece is we seek to be part of a community of care. We seek to remind the person that they're not individuals on their own and that they have other caregivers around them, and we want them to be connected. We want to be a part of that connection, but we don't want them to be dependent on us. We just want to be a part of their community of care. Where I was going with this was that there are needs for experts. We are not experts. There are needs for care. There are needs for people. There are sometimes needs for hospitalization and for caregiving from professionals. We're not professionals. We're just fellow humans on the journey to remind you that you are a human in the midst of this journey. When there's so many other, there are lots of wonderful resources out there, but so many of them are resources that can make you feel small, like I'm useless, I'm worthless. So we try to train people to approach fellow humans as fellow humans.
Anybody could be part of your program then.
That's true. We do have a faith-based program. It's interfaith, so it doesn't have to be Christian, but it does tend to work best with people who are faith-based. But yes, there have been trainers who have gone into community groups like Lions clubs or other social service agencies, other social groups with people, and trained people in those groups as well. Yeah.
What is you said it's not a certain denomination, but what is the faith background of this? What's the basis of it that some people could really relate to?
Pathways to Promise is the organization that owns the companionship training. They were formed in 1988. They were initially formed by a group of Christians I believe in the St. Louis area from different denominations who came together and initially they just wanted to provide resources for churches that were encountering all kinds of folks with mental health crises. In the 1980s, mental health institutions, many were shut down and people were on the streets and so on. And churches were encountering these people more often. And it began as a resource, as just a place for resources to come together. You could go and search for resources for all kinds of NAMI and other organizations that were dealing with mental health concerns. In the 1990s, a United Church of Christ minister in Seattle, Washington, had developed a street ministry among the homeless people, and he brought this program to Pathways to Promise. He eventually became their executive director, and he began training people throughout the country. We have welcomed Jewish and Muslim and Hindu and Buddhist and other people into the organization, so that it is interfaith now. It began as a program dealing primarily with street people and unhoused people in urban areas. But we've recognized that rural people and rural communities need it too, and we try to pay attention to the communities that we're serving, and when we're doing trainings, we try to focus on issues that are unique to the individual communities.